What is up, everyone? I'm Skratch. Welcome to the channel and welcome to the very first Godforge video. On this channel, guys, we are going to cover Godforge. So if you guys want to keep up to date with news and everything else related to the game, guides as soon as the beta is released, make sure you guys subscribe, hit that bell and turn on all notifications to make sure you won't be missing any of the future updates. And of course, drop a like. That helps me out as well with the algorithm. In today's video, guys, we're actually going to have Simon, aka Hell Hades, on the channel. We're going to talk about Godforge. How close is the beta? How is the game evolving? What new characters they've brought in and stuff. If you guys are keeping up with the news related to Godforge, you know that every week they're kind of like releasing a teaser, a sneak peek, either of a new character, of a new feature, or something that they are basically planning to do in the game. If you guys want to pre-register for the beta, I will leave the link to their website in the description down below and in the pinned comment. They have a bunch of people that already pre-registered. So make sure you guys pre-register as well to be sure that you are going to get a spot in the first beta. Now, as I was mentioning, they started working on this game quite a while ago. Personally, I'm pretty excited for it. Cannot wait for the beta to try out the game, drop tons of guides for you, and pretty much experience a new game, right? Because that's definitely something that I have been looking forward to for quite a while. They have been working on the game for like 18 months or so, and it is getting along. They still have quite a few things to do. You know what? Let's jump straight into it and see what Hell Hades has to say. What is up, Hades? Nice to finally have you on the channel to talk a bit more about Godforge and how the game is actually coming along and stuff. How is it going?
Yeah, it's going really well, man. It is intense building a game. I gotta say, like, it is really intense, but it's going exceptionally well. It's like me and my a little sweet shop of dreams, honestly, right now, just doing cool stuff. So yeah, it's awesome.
That's awesome. I bet it's a lot of hard work, man. People think that it's easy to just put a good game together, you know, and stuff, but it's so much work to get it done, and so many things that you basically need to think about to make sure that everything will be as smooth as possible, and basically to make a game that you personally want to play, you know.
That's it. Like every time we put features in, or we're talking through features in kind of like design meetings, it's like, are we bringing in the fun in this feature? Are we doing it in a way that people are actually going to really enjoy it? And you know, things which people think are just so easy to do and to get right actually are not that easy. You know, like take an energy system. People think, oh, just give people unlimited energy. That's going to be more fun. But actually, then you're like incentivizing someone to have their game on all the time, and you know, people fall behind if they're not playing the game. And like, there's actually like pros and cons to a lot of stuff which you think should just be super easy.
Yeah, it is, and it is especially just the human nature, our mentality. You know, like if you're gonna get everything easily, you're gonna get bored super quick, and you're just gonna stop playing the game. If you have too much stuff to do in the game, in terms of, as you mentioned, you know, you have unlimited energy, you're gonna have to basically play the game non-stop, so you're not left behind. That's another con to it. So there are many things that you basically need to take in consideration when you're building that in-game economy, you know.
Yeah. But I'm kind of like psyched to show you through some of the stuff we've been doing over the last few months, I guess, and kind of. I think the game's now starting to become more like a game and less like, you know, all these kind of like separate different elements. But I will just like precursor it. I am in the Unity build right now rather than like an actual game that we've exported, because it's the most up-to-date build of the game, which means there's also tons of bugs in here. So stuff I'm going to show you, there's going to be buggy stuff. There's going to be like, you know, work in progress and all that sort of thing. But ultimately, you'll be able to get a feel for our latest version of where the game is at. I'd actually love to just show you our kind of like our recently done like teaser trailer first, if that's cool. It's,
Please.
Yeah,
bring it on. I'm curious as well to see it, because I haven't been keeping up to date for the last 6-8 weeks, you know. So I definitely want to see.
So we're sponsoring Method, who are a World of Warcraft guild, and so we wanted to do a teaser trailer that they could play in their like ad rolls.
Oh, nice.
It actually just works as a nice kind of like teaser for Godforge anyway. So gives you an idea of the type of style we're going to go for when we do the cutscenes for things like campaign and storytelling.
The primal powers shattered the cosmos. From this cataclysm, a new reality emerged. One where gods and heroes wage endless war. These legends must be conquered and tamed. A new pantheon must be forged and tempered. You will be the hammer.
Some bosses in there as well.
Like almost like an Avengers style like finish.
Yeah,
you know?
it's cool, yeah.
Yeah. But ultimately what we're doing is we're just showing off some of the different heroes that are around. The fact that we've got all these different like pantheons of mythologies which are going to come together for the game. And but that's the style of cutscene and storytelling that we want to pull to the game. So kind of like gritty, dark tone to it, I guess.
Yeah, I think it's gonna fit the theme better as well, with the mythology and stuff.
Yeah.
Looks pretty dope, yeah.
So I guess let's show you some hero stuff.
You're still planning for like 200 plus heroes at launch, right?
Yeah, so as it stands right now, we're looking to have a beta in May. For the beta, we expect to have 100 heroes playable. And then we're looking to do like our full launch. Well, I guess soft launch, which goes out to some of the different kind of like countries where I guess user acquisition is quite cheap. And we test a load of stuff, but that's around September. And then full launch by the end of the year. So
that sounds good. Getting close to it, huh?
Yeah, I mean, dude, it's the year of Godforge for me. Like literally, I was saying before we went on, I am working so many hours on Godforge right now, but it's so fun. It's so much going on with it.
Well, it's a big project, man. And as we were talking, if you want to do a thing right, you got to do it you got to do it yourself,
Yeah, like little things like, so I'll be testing builds and, Sham and I do a lot of testing where we're literally just looking at the feel of things. So I'm able to turn like the UI off and kind of, really like zoom in with the camera, play around with the hero. And like one of the things we really wanted was when someone gets a hero to be able to really like, take a look at what's going on and get a good feel for what you've got. So some of the heroes are they're kind of like fully rigged, which means that they've got these animations playing and stuff. So like Anubis here, but all the different mythologies kind of like in our own take, I guess, which is pretty sweet. So some of them have got these kind of like idol breakers and idols, whereas some which like Athena here are literally just
T-posed. Just a stance. Yeah.
But she's got a really cool shield actually.
This is all a work in progress. So
yeah, and so by the beta, anyone that we leave in the actual build will have like full animations and stuff, obviously. But you do get some funny bugs. Like we've got Hades in here right now, who's just rigged not quite right, so he's basically falling over.
He's just chilling a bit, he had too much to
drink. Yeah, but I mean, still like really cool models. I think the art team are doing a really cool job.
They do look really badass though, the characters, even so much detail, even into the weapons and armor, everything. You can see that they are putting a lot of work into it.
And this is without any VFX yet on this one, so I just give you an example of when one has actually got some VFX in as well.
Yeah.
So you can kind of see, it makes quite a difference actually, the glow.
It does.
And all that.
All of these little bits actually that will be added up, they will completely change the look of them in the same with the background and everything,
Yeah. So I'm really pleased actually. In terms of the visual of the game, it feels like it's starting to really come together. We've still got tons of work to do though. So even ones that look pretty much finished, we start to do the fine touches, I guess, like, is this stance just a bit too much like a hockey player, for example? Like these are the type of conversations that we're having on a day to day. Is like the small tweaks we want to do, and some of the heroes they look decent, but I don't think so. So take Aphrodite here. I think she looks really cool. I think it's a really great job of her design, but at the moment her face doesn't quite work for me. And
it doesn't have that emotion in it. I know what you mean.
Yeah. And so we are, which is quite unusual for this style of game. We are actually going to get facial rigging done for everyone. So you see Herc's got blinking, and when he does his idol breaker, his mouth will move as well. So we're having that in for all of them, which does make the emotion kind of come through and gives it a different kind of type of feel. But again, some models just need to be slightly tweaked and reworked. So, but yeah, we've got quite a lot already in game. We're kind of like.
Yeah, you do have quite a lot of heroes. It's the last time when I actually had a look at it,
Yeah. And
you got a lot of them now.
He's playing with his beard. We've got creatures as well. So, a lot of the mythologies have really cool, badass creatures in them. So
they do, yeah.
That's going to be sweet. Even though this guy's not rigged yet, we've got like dragons. We've got all sorts going on. So, I think we're in a good spot in terms of the designs now coming through in a really good kind of like quality and speed. In fact, there's some which no one has seen before yet. I wanted to show you because we're starting to get some.
This looks cool as well, yeah.
Really cool kind of like visuals. These are 3D models, just not in game yet. Is a Nami. We've got Shinigami, and this is probably my favorite actually. Oda.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is gonna be a fan's favorite for sure.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant. But again, so from the concept to the sort of full 3D design, they're really just coming through at such a high quality level. It's brilliant. So
yeah, like if you look on the left, where it's kind of like the main thing that you want to achieve with the shadows and all of the texture of details and stuff. You can see.
Yeah. So the guys are coming through. They're doing a great job. And then what we're starting to get now in game is some of the different features actually working. So being able to upgrade your heroes is something that works. And obviously, we're taking into account some of the pain points I think that we've had in other games to make sure that all of these type of things are just really easy to do with like autofills and auto promoting, that type of thing, so that it doesn't feel really painful to do these things.
Yeah, again, it's like you don't want to walk the dog non-stop, like when you're using the chickens, farm the chickens, and then go to the tavern like we have it in the raid and just select them out by yourself.
It's literally all in one place. So everything you need to do around a hero is in this kind of like hero screen.
Yeah, I like that. Actually, it's cool. Saves time as well from just constantly switching screens and stuff.
Yeah. And I guess I did share this with the kind of community, but I wanted to just show you one of the kind of like cool elements that we're doing as well. So we've got like a gear system, and then we've got a weapon system separate.
Okay.
So our weapons are kind of like mythological cool weapons like Excalibur and Mjolnir and all these different weapons from mythology. And so firstly, you can get them, you can upgrade them. They've got their own kind of like passive ability, which we're calling an implicit. And obviously legendaries, you've got stronger ones than epics and rares. But these are farmable. So we'll have dungeons where you can farm weapons. And we'll also have reliquaries, which are basically like secret rooms where they'll rotate on a seasonal basis with new weapons coming through. So
nice.
Yeah, there's always going to be like new stuff to go after and find. And those reliquaries are secret rooms. So you'll need to kind of like unlock the code to be able to actually farm in those rooms. So it's kind of like that exploration.
A bit of a puzzle work as well in there then.
Yeah. So you might get dropped like a schematic for a weapon, and it will tell you kind of like a couple of clues, and then you might have to find like the second part to that, and then you'll basically unlock the code to be able to farm this weapon for that season. So just a bit of some exploratory stuff.
Yeah, that's cool. Extra work basically in terms of like getting involved in the game and stuff. I feel like people will like this.
Yeah,
reminds me of Destiny and what we used to have to do in the raids there, like all the secret eggs and stuff, to unlock.
Yeah. That's exactly the sort of style we want.
I like
honestly.
that.
Like same sort of thing with masteries. So masteries, you can go out and farm masteries. So once, let's say, one of the masteries is, I don't know, hit the clan boss for 1 million damage. Okay, so you can go out and physically know what you need to do, and then do that piece of work, and then you get a mastery that you can just equip on any of your heroes.
Oh wow.
Okay, so you can go after the ones you want. So you might have one where it's like, I really want to improve my experience that I gain from farming. It's like, okay, well, I'm going to go down that route and try and gain those masteries. Yeah, so that's quite cool. But again, there'll be some masteries where they're not known, and they'll be unlocked by the community, and then that'll be kind of like shared around. So that'd be quite fun as well when you're like the first person to unlock a certain mastery.
Find it. Yeah.
That's cool. But with the weapons, there's also going to be a system where you can basically imprint a hero onto your weapon. So you take a weapon. Let's say you've got a dupe rare that you don't want. That rare will have a passive skill, and that passive can be imprinted onto the weapon. So you can get some really cool combos after you might have like Excalibur being held by King Arthur, but with the passive of Zeus, for example.
Okay, so basically you can get, if you have a dupe hero, you can imprint it to the weapon, and that weapon can be used on pretty much every other hero, right?
Yes.
That's cool, yeah. So that's already sorting a bit with the dupe system as well,
Yeah, exactly. So it'll be a bit of a dupe system. That there is a an empowerment to heroes with dupes as well. But this will so the actual imprint of the hero, it's either you kind of extract it from a hero that's a dupe, or you can actually find imprints as well. So it could be like high level quest rewards or event rewards, that type of thing. So it's like another kind of currency that we can use as a cool reward in a different event or something.
I see they have some pretty cool passive effects as well,
Yeah, they'll be really interesting.
The cooldowns, getting a shield, that's pretty good, yeah.
Yeah, they'll be the type of thing that, especially obviously legendary ones, will be the type of thing that really starts to define the meta of builds. And,
I was going to say, yeah.
As new heroes come out, there'll be new imprints that come out as well, which means that, and new weapons that come out. So these kind of like different combinations will keep things fresh over time.
Yeah, that's good because it allows you to, when you're building a hero or when you're building a team, like look at so many different things to basically perfect that strategy that you're planning to use. And
yeah,
it's good when you have a lot of options on the table,
Yeah. So for beta, we're going to have a number of the different systems to some sort of level of completion. So obviously summoning's going to be in. There'll be like a small element of clans or guilds for us, or pantheons actually for us. There will be things like the weapon system in, and there will be a number of the different dungeons.
Also, you click on that
campaign.
and you basically unlock all the content. That's cool.
Yeah, so it kind of like spans out like this.
Yeah, that's nice.
So yeah, so we won't have all of the stuff in. We won't have arena or tower in for beta, but we'll have, I guess, anything which can enhance a hero's power will be in for beta for now. But I'll give you kind of like just a quick view of what gameplay looks like. Now,
so that's campaign, yeah.
We're actually we're in this point where we've got this new tool. It's basically like a timeline tool. If you can imagine editing a video and you're slotting in different elements to your video to make it like sync up. Basically, our timeline tool is piecing together parts of animation so that we can move cameras around whilst we're performing animations. And we're at the early throes of kind of like finessing this. So there's some stuff which just looks very wonky right now, but I'll show you anyway.
All of this is a work in progress. You cannot expect to have everything done by snapping your fingers, So it will take time, but till the game is released and stuff. So a lot of these touches,
And this is kind of like our camera that we really want to push in. It's like a cinematic view. You're able to literally turn the UI off and press auto so that you can just kind of watch the
see
gameplay
everything
on a cinematic.
Properly, yeah.
But also we had some feedback with some of the early stuff that we're showing for people saying, look, we definitely want a different camera as well. So for now, we've just put in like a couple of other cameras that people could just, these aren't finished again. It just kind of like gives an idea of some of the stuff we're playing around with right now. And then in terms of UI, you can kind of like see the turn order on the left, and if there's more enemies, you could scroll up and see when everyone's due to go. You've got your abilities bottom right, you've got your heroes bottom left, and then a lot of the stuff you will just be like familiar with. But
yeah, so you're making it on a turn meter base, right? I can't remember.
Turn meter basis, which is the yellow line, and you also gain ultimates, which you'll see as I do skills. So we have a bar that's kind of like filling up for everybody. So ultimates are based on whether are based differently per different type of hero. So if you've got someone like Lady Zoc here, who is a slayer, damage dealer, she'll gain more ultimate meter for killing stuff, right? And everyone will have their own way of gaining this kind of like divinity.
Yeah.
So let's say you've got someone who is a support they might gain their divinity, more divinity for healing, for example. But everyone gains divinity towards the ultimate, and then when your ultimate pops off, you can literally I can do a quick cheat actually and just throw ultimates on.
You gotta give me the cheat as well.
Yeah. I'm trying to find, where is it? Always ultimate somewhere. Too many cheats.
There's so much stuff in the background for everything, dude. It's crazy. Like people don't really understand the magnitude of it, just by playing games till they actually get to see how.
The thing is, you need a lot of these things to test properly, right? You need to be able to do all these things. So you can see when you get an ult, everyone kind of gets fiery.
Yeah.
So on Lady Zoc's turn, I can actually use ult, for example.
So it's nothing to do with the other 3 skills that they have basically on the side.
Yeah, so whenever anyone on your team has got an ult, you can use it whenever you choose to. So if I wanted to, obviously I wouldn't normally have Kuan Yu's ult again, but I could use it now on someone else's turn, and then I can also use like Ra's ult on the same go. So you can combo ultimates together, basically.
So you can basically cut in front of the enemy with that.
Yeah. So let's say you're in PvP, you could be like, am I going to just use my one ult that I've got ready, or do I want to save up 2 or 3 to combo them together to do like the one shot? So I think it's going to be a fun system. Unfortunately,
really interesting.
In Unity, when you first use a skill, it does like that blue thing, but it should be good. But yeah, all of them.
I like that the characters are realistic, you know.
Yeah, we've gone for the kind of like visual style of more realism, I guess. And I think
I feel like that's the main thing why Raid caught up so good, you know. One of the main things. So this will be a banger too, yeah.
Just turn it off. And yeah, anyway, I've broken the game now. Yeah, so obviously you saw firsthand there bugs happen.
Yeah.
Quick reset of the game, but yeah, it's
too many cheats, you know. That's why.
That's it. Yeah, too many cheats. But I'm pretty psyched. Yeah, we're launching with 9 factions.
9 factions. That's cool. Yeah. I was literally going to ask how many factions you guys have lined up and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, and obviously, I think a lot of people, because they know mythology or they know certain mythologies, they'll recognize a number of the heroes like straight out, and then there'll be others where they'll probably just start learning about different mythologies and how they sort of play through as well. So yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty fun. When we see the designs for the different heroes come in, there's a lot of like back and forth on, is it what we were expecting for that hero? Is that hero in the right rarity for what they're doing? Like, there's so many different elements to it, honestly, because the last thing you want to do is offend anyone.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, people are always like, "Oh my god, they've done this champion so dirty," or in every single game. So if they're bringing like a big name or something, they're like, "Oh my god, this champion sucks. They've done him dirty. They don't like it."
Yeah,
you definitely gotta pay attention to that as well. So rarities, we have commons, epics, rares, and legendaries, right?
Yes.
To start with, yeah.
So there's certain things in this genre, and people say, "Oh, this is just a clone of whatever." Like, there's certain things in the genre that we don't want to try and innovate on. We just want to do things that people are already familiar
with. As it
with.
Works, yeah.
And there's
don't change
other things that we do want to innovate on. So our innovation doesn't really come from changing those type of systems. Our innovation is more around gameplay, honestly. So we're going to have a extremely well built out roguelike, for example, as a mode, and we're going to have a co-op kind of world bosses that drop in as like events and stuff like that. So that's where we want to innovate, rather than whether there's commons or uncommons or
sure, man. Like, you don't change it if it's not broken, and this is so familiar. Like, personally, when I'm playing a new game, right, and it's basically the same thing in terms of like rarities and stuff, and they're trying to change them to either different names, or just they're trying to innovate when they're actually not doing any innovation. And I find it annoying, rather than that's cool, comments. Because like, why is it different? It's the same everywhere else. Like, leave it the same. It's actually something that we're used to, and it's good to have that familiar thing in game, when you start playing a new one, especially.
Yeah, I've seen comments, people say, "Oh, I can't believe you've gone for level 60 as well." Like, it's like, that's not the place to innovate. People would just
that's super standard. It's basically like, I wouldn't change things like this either if I would be making my own game. Like, as you mentioned, innovating the gameplay is where the effort should go in, because that's what people are actually doing, rather than looking, "Oh my god, this level is 60, okay, or this is level 70." It's so irrelevant,
Yeah,
the gameplay is what matters.
Yeah, and for me, so there was 2 things which when I set out to do this, I said, look, we need to hit the visual quality for the genre. Like, if we don't come in with a visual quality, then we're already massively behind.
Yeah,
and then we need to be able to bring gameplay which feels fresh and fun. So they're the 2 kind of like key pillars for me that I'm always working back to. So whenever we're talking to the design team, and we have these kind of like weekly sessions with them, it's like, right, let's just make sure that the features we've got in play that we're kind of like building out really do the job that we want it to do. And we're almost like constantly refining, honestly, constantly like changing things up, or tweaking rather than complete changes. But, you know, and then after people have a bit of experience of it, so we've had the build out on a phone for a while now, and we take it to like different events. One of the things we realized is people didn't know they had an ultimate when it was ready. Like, we're like, damn, like it wasn't obvious enough to people's eyes that their ultimate was ready. So, you know, we had to change the way that looks, and
little things like that,
the UI and stuff like that. And as we see people using it, we then make those changes. So, and obviously it's really important that everything feels really kind of like easy to use and intuitive, I guess, to what people need to do.
Yeah, people like to basically get everything easy on the screen to quickly understand everything that's happening. When it's way too complex and it's not obvious, it does get a bit harder. So I feel like the beta is getting close, guys, which is pretty exciting. I feel like that's when we need to jump on the game and basically push it hard, and that's where you're going to get a lot of feedback from.
Oh, we get tons. Yeah, you can still sign up. There's a link on fateless.gg, so you can still sign up to the beta. We've got about 35,000 people signed up at the moment. So,
that's really good. Yeah,
really pleased with that. It's as I say, like it's such a cool thing to have this big community of people like already psyched for what we're doing. But yeah, I mean, as those weeks draw closer, we do these like 2-week sprints of work. It's like, right, what's being done in the next 2 weeks? And you just realize that May's not that long away. The end of the year's not that long away. You know, like we're missing VFX here. Like, yeah, there's tons still to do, but
it's getting there slowly. Like, there's a lot of progress since last time anyway. Because,
massive progress. Yeah.
I remember last time when we kind of like talked about it, was just like the first part, the first battle and stuff. The UI for the main screen was not even in here and stuff.
Yeah.
And so many new heroes. I feel like last time we had like 9 heroes when we talked about it or something like that. So look, you can see that a lot of work went into it since. So you'll be getting there slowly. Excited to be honest. Yeah.
Yeah, it's exciting. Like, and I have said in a couple of videos, like, let's say, you know, for whatever reason the VFX doesn't all go in on time or whatever, I'm not afraid to push something back in time if it doesn't feel right. I'd rather do that than put something out that's not good. But ultimately, I'm also the sort of person that if I set a deadline, then I'll do what I can to hit the deadline. So I'd rather ramp up resources than be late. But ultimately, we're not going to release a game that we don't feel is kind of like good enough to come in, because you only get one chance.
One shot, exactly.
Yeah.
So it's super important to make sure you have everything spot on, regardless of how excited the people are. You know, like release the game. As long as you guys feel that it's not there just yet, it's better to wait. You know, even if you delay it 1, 2 months, 3 months, even 6 months. You know, it's better to make sure you're getting it right. You know, super important.
Yeah, man.
Awesome, dude. Like, nice to see that there's been a lot of evolution with the game. You know, lots of upgrades on it. And looking forward to try the beta. I will be leaving the link to the website, guys, in the pinned comment, the description down below. Make sure you guys head over, register for the beta. It is around the corner, literally a few months away, and time is flying indeed. So by the time you're feeling hot and sunny in the summer, you'll be able to most likely try out the beta, you know?
Yeah.
Awesome. Hey, this was a pleasure to have you on the channel to talk about Godforge, and looking forward to have you next time before the beta or around there, basically, to talk a bit more about it.
Thanks for having me on, man. That's awesome.
Pleasure as always. And as usual, guys, appreciate all of you watching, and I will catch you all in the next one.